Let's see if this works. Don't have a very good microphone setup, but let's see if we can get a recording that can be useful out of this. Otherwise, I'm not gonna upload it if I notice in advance that it didn't went fine. Anyway, some days I just wish to go back to my high school and just reminisce and think about all the dreams you had, all the future thoughts you had of the future. And it's always quite sentimental. You get flashbacks of all the incident that happened, what happened here, what happened there. I was just a few minutes ago I was visiting the schoolyard, the big yard where I got a lot of flashbacks, some negative and mostly you only remember the negative stuff. I mean, I remember when I jumped from a wall. We have a little wall in the schoolyard. I jumped and then I cut my hand, and I still have actually the scar on my hand left. And this is like 16-17 years ago now. And I was in the middle of the yard. We have like a hill, like a small hill, like with stairs. We used to sit there and chat. And I remember when I made a fool out of myself. I went from a popular kid right down to the bottom where I was made fun of, and after that you went downhill. I had some OCD. I remember I did some funny stuff and people were like terrified, like they noticed what I did, and like it was very hard to regain my social status after that. I was a popular kid actually. I was quite popular for a while, despite my autistic traits. I think it was because when you're 14, 15 and below, the social expectations aren't that high, so you can manage to be a popular even though you are autistic at those ages. And also I was a quick I grew quicker. I remember I grew like I went my what you call puberty. I had it like when I was 12, 13, and normal guys have it like when they're, I think, 14, 15 or something. So I was taller. I was tall. I had a little beard, which they thought was cool. Just a side note. In my opinion, I really didn't like beard at that time, so I didn't take advantage of it. But they thought it was cool anyway. So after that incident, I remember straight down to the lowest part of the pit. And then I went by our physical education hall, gymnastics hall, and there I went to karate class there, and it also made me, I think it contributed to made me be popular and have confidence, because I was quite a talented karateka. I was quite talented. I did competition. I won most of my competitions that I participated in. And yeah, things from the get-go looked quite bright, you know. It looked quite bright, to be honest. I had a trainer who liked me. He was this tall, quite muscular man with a very high status. He liked me, and I trained with him. And he was also a physical education teacher at school, which also perhaps contributed a little bit to my good times at the high school. And yeah, you know, eventually my OCD took over at the karate class as well, so I did some movements that were uncontrollable. Like I had this obsessive thoughts. I had to do some stuff, and he noticed, and he became my trainer. He became very uncomfortable, and he eventually he also lost his fondness of me, so to speak. So I wasn't very much liked. Long story short, it went downhill quite fast, you know, from being very and I was also a quite high level athlete at the karate class. He let me have classes with beginners, and he had me as his assistant when he showed new movements and stuff. But after the OCD parts, he just well, it was very uncomfortable, and then also after 15, I think your expectations, social expectations, grow very fast. The expectations grow very fast. So when you have autistic traits like Asperger's, you're not catching along with the social expectations that happens after 15, when a guy is supposedly a man. And when, you know, in high school there is this there's a flip side. Like there is a time where people grow socially, like a very steep upwards trend, you know, in the graph. And you Asperger's, you don't get along, so you don't catch up with that. You're still undeveloped. Your social skills are undeveloped, and everything is about communion, about being popular, about being in a group, about having the style. Are you in the feminist group? Are you in the hip hop group? Are you in the drinking beer group? Just 1 minute, I'm just gonna check if the audio is still recording, because my phone is sometimes yes, apparently it's still recording, so we can keep going. Yeah, everything seemed very bright, to be honest. I was on my way up in the karate class. I was a good student. Like you know, when you're Asperger's, when you're analytical, you don't have any problem with good grades, you know. That's the easy part for you, right? The thing is that your social awareness is retarded. You know, you are retarded. You know, I wouldn't even call it retarded. It's just that it's not even on. Your social switch isn't even on. So you can't, it's even worse than being retarded in the social aspect. It's like a light that, you know, sometimes you have to knock it a few times in order in order for it to lit up, right? So your light is shut off. You have to knock it a few times. And when I say knock it, basically it means that someone has to brief you. Like if you're fortunate, people notice that you're ASPI, and you will get to an ASPI class, and you will have teachers who are experts on Asperger's and autism, so they will tell you about your social difficulties, so you can try to lit your lamp up. You try to lit that lamp, the light, and you can start learning. You can start observing social interaction and appropriate behavior and stuff like that. But when you if nobody can like pinpoint that out, and they just see you as weird, or in my case, I think it was that I'm a foreigner, I'm an immigrant, son to immigrants. I guess it was just a little like racism in that, like they thought, oh, it's their culture, they're just obnoxious, like that's how he behaves, they are obnoxious, or simply it could be that they knew that you were different, but they didn't want to help you. They didn't want to put an effort because there was a something like they disliked. Like, who is this guy? I'm not gonna put an effort to help him, even though I can see that he's lacking in some areas, like socially. Why am I gonna plan a meeting with his parents, plan a meeting with the school, just for his sake, for him to develop? Could be a combination of those reasons, I don't know. But anyway, back to the main thread. Things look bright. I was eventually gonna get I hoped to get like a black belt in karate, perhaps helping with the classes someday, or perhaps maybe even building an own group with him, with my trainer. Like I would open my own school, my own karate classes with his blessing, of course, and with his support. Like it will still be under his culture. Like I will just evolve the culture like a new generation. But yeah, he lost all his fondness of me, and I wasn't a popular kid anymore. And what happens, it followed with a few years of extreme depression from my part. I couldn't realize what I had done, what was wrong, and I didn't understand autism, Asperger's, none of that. Every interaction I had with people after that was coming from a place of vulnerability, because I had no self-confidence, no self-esteem. So this is what happens when you have Asperger's and you're not aware of it. All your dreams gets crashed, and you don't know why. You just feel depressed. You attract narcissists, you attract abusers, users. And now I see, I went further to behind the school. We have a big pitch, football, soccer pitch, and I saw where I used to play. I saw now guys with my age playing with their children, and here I am, 32, going 33, MGTO, men going their own way, or men sent their own way, depends on how you see it. And it's tough, it's hard if you haven't met anyone organically, right, from your high school or your what's it called after high school, what is it, college. When you haven't met someone organically there, it will be very tough to find someone new, or after that to find someone, because then it's all about settling. it's not that you're necessarily like that person, but you're settling for the person, right? So now I'm 32. If I meet a girl, it's like my expectations have to be lower. Like, oh, I can't. It's time. Like the time is running. I can't wait for my looks match. Maybe she's under my looks level, but I have to settle. Those kind of stuff come into play, right? The same thing with the chick that you're meeting. The young, healthy, beautiful chicks perhaps may have already, they might be not interested in you, the girls who are 19 to 24, 25, right? Now it's single moms that's hooking you up, sliding in my DMs. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I'm gonna accept a single mom or take care of a Chad's children, you know, like a beta. I would never do that. At least that's what I think right now. I haven't gone lower than that yet, and I hope it never will be. But so this is what happens, and now I'm here, still walking in my old neighborhood. Now I'm here at the graveyard where one of my beloved neighbors is buried here somewhere. May God have mercy on her soul. She was the most beautiful human being that I've ever met. She was a neighbor. She was handicapped in a wheelchair, the electric wheelchairs, you know. And she used to come, and when I was a kid, she used to come and take me to the woods. We would look for mushroom, and it was a hobby of hers. And I helped her sometimes, dragging the wheelchair for places perhaps she couldn't go by herself. I helped a little bit. And she passed away a few years ago, or maybe no, not a few years, like 10 something years ago, I think. And I really loved her, like the warmth, the empathy she had towards us, you know, immigrant family with a lot of kids. Very few were so fortunate to have neighbors like this. I've come to realize in hindsight, mostly it's just racism. People just behave racistly towards immigrants, especially when they're like cliche, a lot of children, you know. So there are beautiful people out there, but there are very few. There is nonetheless. So what can we do after all this? This is life, right? One day you're at the top, you're the popular guy. Then in an instant, you're marginalized. Nobody wants to associate with you anymore. You lose your karate group. You lose your friends. You have aspect traits, and you realize that everything in life, every substantial thing in life, every status is based on what other people think of you. Everywhere, if you want to do something, if you want to become if you want to climb in the hierarchy, you need to deal with people, and by default you as an ASPI is in a disadvantage. You're in handicap. You're socially handicapped. You start below zero, and there comes a time where you have to change your blueprint, where you have to change your realistic dreams. And you have to, when you know yourself, like I know myself, I'm not naturally a social guy, so I can't have any endeavors, any goals that are based on social stuff. What I mean by that is places everywhere, like in a job, because it's people. People give you promotion. Just like in the karate, you can't get a black belt if you are not liked by your, or if you're not liked by your teacher or your other mates, unless you just go and buy a black belt. But that's not the same thing, right? You can go buy it for $20 and put it on you, but it's not a real promotion. So you have to change your blueprint in life. You have to realize that whatever group, whatever situation you get in, you'll be the last one to be promoted, or perhaps you won't ever be promoted, because you lack the social skills, you lack the detail rich social nuances. Like, you don't know how to make someone feel that you are his ally, and if you can't make that, then you're not welcome. You'll be perceived as the opposite, and this can be catastrophic. But yeah, this is catastrophic, because you can go to a place and you can try your best to get along with everyone. You can be the kindest person, most helpful person. It doesn't matter. It's the wrong social signals you're sending. You have to send the appropriate social signals. And in most places, it's not even being kind or being helpful. It's like they have to feel, how do you say it? Like, if it's in a karate school or in a martial arts school, you have to gain their respect, and their respect is based on if you are strong or not, or on your strength. So you have to show that you are strong, and it doesn't matter if you're kind or helpful. Believe me, I know. I've been to a lot of martial arts school, and most people who get promoted fast, it's not that they are the most kind or helpful guy. It's that they are the most, like, they have the capability of aggression, and they don't take they're always aware of warfare, social warfare, about the hierarchy, and that gives other guys some sense of, yeah, this guy is a good ally to me. If I get close to him, he has aggression, he's aware of social warfare, like, people can't mess with him, and if I'm close with him, then people can't mess with me either. So yeah, basically everything in life is about other people liking you. And if you have autism, Asperger's, there comes a time we have to realize maybe it's better for me not to have such dreams or hopes, because you have to lower your expectations. Maybe your new goal could be, okay, I want to build my own house in the woods. Maybe that's what I'm gonna save money. I'm gonna try to save money, and my ultimate goal is to build a house in the woods, distant from society. Maybe that's a realistic dream. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this recording. If you've managed to listen this far, then let me tell you, you're a unique breed. That's it.